Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new season of the Purposeful Life Show with your host, Adrian Starks. I'm excited to share some new updates of the show with you, starting with a new look, sound, and energy, as well as a variety of guests coming aboard with intriguing topics of conversation. I hope you enjoy the new level of energy that will be brought to the show. Thank you for all of your support since the very beginning in 2019. Wow, it's been 3 years already? Because of you, the Purposeful Life Show is now in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, and we aim to get it into the top 1%. Continue listening to the show and share it with others. You can also now listen to the show on my Facebook page at Adrian Starks, where you can comment in real time and communicate with me about your aha moments. Thank you again for all of your support, and let's make this one hell of a year and be purposeful about doing that. Wishing you all much love and success. Hi, my name is Adrian Starks, and welcome to the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up Podcast. This podcast is for the courageous creators wanting to create a life of meaning, adventure, and fulfillment, all while helping to make the world a better place. I'm happy you're here, and if you're new to our show, make sure to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. Also, connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Champion Up. It is always that one idea that could be your breakthrough. It's time to step into your courage and believe the champion in you. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Adrian Starks, and thank you for listening to the Purposeful Life Show on the Champion Up Podcast, and I am your host. Remember to give us that 5-star rating and also subscribe to the show so you don't miss out on the powerful future content. Be sure to go to the App Store and type in Champion Up so you can get that free app from Champion Up, so you can also have more amazing content in the palm of your hands. Today, I have a special guest on our show named Joseph Seiler, and he's a success coach, and we're going to learn some things about him, about the power of success in life and in business. Joseph, can you say hello to our guest?
Indeed, I can. A pleasure. Hello, everybody.
Well, hello, Joseph. We're so glad to have you on board today, and we're looking forward to getting these success gems from you. Joseph Seiler is a success coach and a personal development facilitator at your Natural Edge Success Coaching, Inc. He has started over and built 6 companies, and Joseph says he loves to help business folks gain clarity about themselves, their businesses, and their goals. And Joseph says something very special here about goals. He calls it goal getting, not goal setting that we're used to hearing all the time. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into that throughout our segment here about the goal getting process. And that's why Joseph is a courageous creator, because he's all about helping us get our goals done. Joseph, can you tell our audience today a little bit about what it is exactly that you do?
Certainly. My primary aim, my focus with people is to help them get greater clarity about what they are and what they want, and then to help them grow the resolve it takes to go and get it.
I love that. Grow the resolve of what it takes to go and get it. And that is the thing about, success is having the resolve, right, Joseph? It's not just saying, I want this, but it's like you have to develop that, I call it the courage muscle, to take action. And
I agree.
Yeah, that's so important. And so, Joseph, you have been very successful. Like I said before, you have started over 6 companies, and you work with some of the highest level people, CEOs and around the world. What change had to take place in your business or your personal life for this particular part of your success, your idea, to take off?
Well, that's an interesting question. I think the biggest thing is I had to realize and honor that the people I work with have what they need in them. And my job is not to save the day, like on the white horse type of thing. Mm-hmm. is to bring out what's already there so that the person I'm working with goes, yes, and takes off. Right. And then, but by that time, I just need to get out of the way. So the realization that they've got it, I don't have it. They got it.
So to bring out what they already have there, that's so important for me to know and anyone else listening to this, because we assume that part or the motivation comes from the outside. But what you're saying here is basically you are the catalyst for pulling what they already have inside so they can bring it out. So we're working from inside out, not outside in.
Yeah, and I like your choice of words there, catalyst. That is exactly it.
I love that. Great. The catalyst. So think about that. The catalyst. What is going to be the catalyst to get you to go from this point to that point? And this is why Joseph is so successful in coaching. And Joseph, so what has been one of the, scariest things or the highest risk that you've had to take so far in your career? I mean, to see yourself go to the next level, because you teach people how to come out of that part of themselves. But is there something that you really had to take a risk on yourself?
Well, orders of magnitude here, I suppose. The first time I did a personally sponsored workshop where, I had to hire a space and had to do the advertising, get the people to come, and then deliver, all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. First time I did that was a brand new experience, and I would say it was a risk.
Mm-hmm. And so running that first workshop. So for the audience today, taking the risk is part of success, is what Joseph is saying. And you have to ask yourself, what kind of risk are you not willing to take? What kind of risk should you be taking? What kind of risk are you avoiding? And that is why, that is why Joseph is so powerful at coaching people, because I believe that he puts a microscope on what are you actually avoiding here? What can we work on together that can get this part of you out so that you can really present it to the marketplaces of the world? And that's important. I remember seeing you, Joseph, last year, actually, at the personal development tour. And I remember watching Joseph do this amazing presentation on noticing your happiness and success. And this was in Canada, Vancouver, Canada, actually. But Joseph had a spin on it that really made me think. And I was like, I've got to have Joseph on the show when I do this. He spells notice a different way. And Joseph, can you elaborate on that a little bit about how you spell the notice and why you have chosen to do it that way?
Gladly. Notice I spell with the Knowtice, which sounds notice, and it's spelled differently because when people see it, they scrunch up their forehead and they look hard at it, and they're about to say something about it, and then they go, "Oh, that's cool, I get it." So it's a aha moment in a box. You spell notice with a K, and people go, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
And why is it so important for people to see notice that way?
Because noticing myself is increasing my self-awareness. Mm-hmm. The thing is, we don't do it. We're walking along, we're taking the bus, we're reading the newspaper, we're watching CNN or whatever we're doing. Right. And we're not noticing ourselves very much. Mm-hmm. And yet, when we do notice ourselves, answers come. The results we seek are there for our picking. They're on the tree. The fruit is ripe. But until I notice, Notice, until I notice the fruit, I won't pick it because I won't be aware of it. When I do recognize it, there, now I know something. That's the notice with a K part. And that's when the good stuff happens, because then I see the fruit and I can simply reach out my hand and there it is.
Right. That is so important. So when we notice the KNOW, when we notice this, when we see it, we can pick it versus just not being aware that it's there. Correct?
Yes. And also taking responsibility for my own learning and my own awareness. Mm-hmm. It's I that notice. It's me or you or whoever we're talking with. Mm-hmm. Your noticing will be different than mine, but yours will be perfectly tuned and appropriate for what you need and want. And it'll be in the style and in the form that's most digestible for you. You'll recognize it and you go, "Oh, that's so cool." And you'll tell me about it. And say, "I don't know what you're talking about." So, we notice the K with a filter that is ours. And that's very helpful.
Yes, that is very helpful to notice with that filter. And speaking of noticing, this is a topic that's a little bit off our topic, but I think it's important to talk about the word notice. Our young generation is doing that, actually. There is a protest going on around the world with the young students for the climate change. I think it's happening on Friday, but I believe in some countries it's happening today. But they're noticing the climate change and they're paying attention to it. So it's the same rule applies to us. If we're noticing things, which we should be, we can be more apt to take action on it and to decide on what we need to change or what we can do to work toward those changes. So in the society where we live today, where there's so many distractions, Joseph, what would you suggest for someone to do to begin to notice more about what they need to improve in their businesses or in their personal lives? What would be a step they could take right now?
There are many things, but in summary, they all fit into the category of find a way to stay awake.
Find a way to stay awake. I like that.
When I'm walking down the road, I'm usually not awake. How many red and white trucks did you see on your drive to work this morning? Most people would say, I don't know. You'll see them if you look for them. They're everywhere. It's a very common paint job for a truck.
Mm-hmm.
But most days we don't see any. And it's not that they're not there. And it's not that the universe rushes off and manufactures a bunch when we ask to see them. They've always been there.
Mm-hmm.
But when I purposely notice, I choose to notice with a K, I will see the red and white trucks, for example.
I like how you said
so
choose to notice.
Anything we can do to do that is good.
Okay, so when we choose to notice with a K, remember that, everyone, choose to notice with a K.
That's big distinction.
Big distinction there. And it's interesting you brought that up about the whole car situation in trucks, Joseph, because I don't know if anyone's experienced this, but when you've purchased a car, or if you have a car that you're interested in, and all of a sudden you start seeing all these cars that resemble it. You're like, there it is right there. There it is right there. And that's because we've taken notice to it, right? We're actually paying attention.
Yeah, we've generated a filter because we love the car we bought.
Yes.
Suddenly they're everywhere, but they were there yesterday. I just didn't see them because I wasn't looking.
So how can we apply the filter? And that's the question for us all, to our lives now. So what can we begin to notice more of with what we want, and to pay attention to that? That's so important.
Yes.
Oh, so this is great. This is great information here. I hope everyone's taking notes today. So the whole idea of noticing is a big concept, because I feel like there's a lot of people that have, like, they don't pay attention anymore, Joseph. Like, we see this a lot when people are walking across the street. Their heads are down. They're looking into the phones, or they're on their phone, and they're totally oblivious to, wow, did you just see that go on right there? Did you notice that over there? And so a practice for our individuals, would it be just to start daily paying attention to different things that we typically wouldn't pay attention to? Would you suggest that maybe be something that we can start to do in our lives?
Yeah, we need little disruptors. We need a little bit of help to sort of, it's like the elastic band on the wrist thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you take a Post-it note and put it on the door jamb where you exit your office, put it there at eye level. It's not there now, but you're going to put it there after we talk. And the next time you walk past, you're going to go, oh, right. And that will remind you, notice with a K.
Notice with a K.
You don't have to write anything on it, anything. It's just a disruptor to bring us back to the present moment.
To bring us back.
The thing is, Adrian, what's going to happen is 5 or 6 days from now, because it's always there, you're going to stop noticing that.
That's true.
So either you're going to have to move it, change color, do something else. A favorite of mine, if you wear a wristwatch, take it off and turn it around so the display is upside down.
Okay, we'll try that.
So every time you check the time, oh, right, notice.
Okay. So we turn the wristwatch upside down, and that way we know that it's upside and we pay attention to. That's a good one, especially when it comes to time and how powerful time is for us.
And nobody knows you're doing it, but there you are, you're doing it. And the other part of this success equation is choose something to notice.
Choose something to notice.
I really want to notice this or that. It could be I want to notice my breathing.
Yes.
It could be I want to notice the atmosphere in this room. It could be I want to notice how much time I spend on my cell phone.
There's apps for that too.
Whatever it is, but choose something, design it, something that's helpful, and change it. Most days, make a new one, and use your upside down watch to tap you on the side of the head and say, hello, notice. And oh, right. Ding, ding, ding. Away we go.
Great. That is great information here. So taking notice, that's the exercise daily. What can you notice? Or what are you willing to notice today? Maybe it's in a conversation. Can you ask yourself, what am I willing to notice in this conversation?
And that's a fabulous question. That could be the question of the day for one of your days right there.
Yeah.
What am I willing to notice
What am I
today?
willing to notice today? That's a good exercise.
Every time you look at your watch.
I'm going to remember that, Joseph. Now I'm going to wear my watch upside down and someone's going to say, why is your watch upside down? I'm just like, hey, you know what? I have a great person named Joseph who's taught me about noticing things.
Yeah, that's it.
That is it.
That's
All right,
it.
perfect. So, this is great about noticing. And I'm sure that everyone is loving the information here and they're saying, okay, I'm going to use this in my life. But there are some that are going to be saying, I don't have the time to do that. I'm so busy. There's so many things going on. That's the least of my worries right now. So what can one do to minimize that you think the stresses that come with the territory of, being busy in life or starting a business, running a business? When you work with your clients, Joseph, what are some things or what is a couple of gems you can give our audience today about how to deal with stress so that they can notice things?
Well, we get stressed when we get nervous about something, when we get scared.
Mm-hmm.
And anger is an example of a result of being scared. So we need to realize that, this fear stuff is not helping.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to somehow be reminded of that. So what I like to do is to remind people that we all have this little piece of the brain that came from dinosaur times, the amygdala. and its first reaction to basically everything is to choose fight or flight.
Mm-hmm.
So when I notice myself getting steamed and getting stressed and breathing short and all those kinds of things, laugh. Oh, there goes my dinosaur brain again. Oh, God, Joseph, what are you doing? You reptile, you, and just engage myself with a bit of humor. And that humor just takes it away.
Just laugh.
Laughter and humor just evaporates it.
Just to laugh. But for some that are maybe going through a stressful moment, that wouldn't be an easy thing to do, right? Just laugh. I mean, they wouldn't feel happy, right? So they think that I have to be happy to laugh. But what you're saying is that we just laugh and that can trigger our brain to focus on something else.
If you're having difficulty with laughing out loud, and sometimes that's hard, I get it, lift up your chin.
Okay.
Just lift up your head. And what that does is it changes your posture, and it's a more positive and stronger posture. Person with the head up is stronger than with the head down.
Right, because that changes our state of emotion.
If you really want something really basic, lift up your head. I do it now, and I move back in my chair. My shoulders go back.
Powerful. So body posture can impact how we feel. So for our audience today, you courageous creators out there, if you're feeling in a state of like you are stressed, change your body posture. Wherever you are, make sure you're sitting up or stand up, pull your chin up, and that can help blood flow, can help you feel better, and to laugh, laugh at yourself possibly if you can, or just do a fake laugh, just to get the body moving.
Well, and remember that this little noise that's in the head that's causing all the stress, it's a lie. It's a little tiny dinosaur, for crying out loud. It's funny.
I love how you say little dinosaur, because now I'm going to be thinking about that part of my brain is like, all right, stop it, little dinosaur.
There you are. And what does that make you do? It makes you laugh, right?
It makes you laugh.
So all good.
Yeah.
All good.
All right. So it's important for us to know that the fear state that we're in, that controls how we deal with our stresses. So it's important to know not to go into a fear state, that fight or flight, but to be, and if you do, be aware of it and immediately, wherever you are, change that body posture that you're in, and to stand up, sit up straight, pull your head up. That can help you a lot with that stress. And as you do that, you can notice things. So I can notice, how am I feeling now?
Well, just getting back to that notice thing. When I notice that I'm stressed, I'm already on the way to unstressing.
Right.
Because I already know. As soon as I notice I'm stressed, I know the little dinosaur is working hard down there.
That's true. And
just get the image in your mind. I don't care what color your dinosaur is. Maybe it's yellow or pink or orange or black. I don't know. But you got this little guy down there with the pick and shovel, got the little miner's hat with the light on it, going to town, digging a hole for you. And it's funny. It's funny.
I love it. And this is why Joseph is a courageous creator himself and creating major impact out here in the world with some of the biggest, business people out there. And Joseph has this ability to really help you notice things in a different perspective. And we're going to tie this back to the success I talked about earlier. You're thinking, well, what does dinosaurs have to do with my business? It has everything to do with it, because when you can start noticing these things about yourself and the state that you're in, guess what it does for you? Everything's a cycle. You'll begin to notice things in your business. You'll be less stressed and you can really take on those big projects. Or if there's someone that's stressing you out, you can say, no, not me. I'm going to take care of this and we're going to deal with it as we can. In personal relationships, what is that little dinosaur saying to you when you're having a conversation with someone, right? And you're getting stressed out and just tell that little dinosaur, hey, we need to change this state. So this is so powerful for you both in business and in personal life. And that's why Joseph is a successful coach, business coach across the world. Joseph, I have a courageous creator question I want to ask you today. I know I've been asking you many questions, but this question is only for the courageous creators. Of all your multiple years of doing this kind of work, coaching around the world, traveling, working with many people, CEOs, and onward, what has it taught you about succeeding in life or about life in general?
The path seems to be, in all the years and in all the people, hundreds of people that I worked with, the path seems to be to get a mirror in front of this person, the one who wants more success. And here's the statement: see yourself, celebrate what you see. Neither of those things sound all that hard, but they are. It's really hard to celebrate ourselves. So see yourself, celebrate what you see. I am your mirror. That's my job. I'm here as your mirror, and I'm going to help you see yourself. And then we're going to laugh.
I love that. See yourself and celebrate yourself. And then we're going to laugh, because that's important for us to know. See yourself and celebrate yourself. And even if you don't feel like you can, start thinking about that. Noticing what you can do to see yourself, to celebrate yourself. And this is how.
Well, the thing is too,
you're okay.
See yourself, celebrate what you see. In discussion, celebrate what you see means all of it, everything. And if you have a sense of something that you kind of go, ooh, that's not good, celebrate that too.
Yes. Celebrate everything.
That's the trick, because otherwise the dinosaur goes back to work.
Celebrate everything. Got it. That is it. And Joseph, how can our audience get in contact with you to learn more about this dinosaur brain, that we're working with, and other perspectives of Knowtice? Because I know that we touched just briefly today on some of the traits that you use with your successful clients, but I know that there's so much more to learn from you. So how can they get in contact with you?
Well, certainly Google Joseph Seiler, my name will work. YourNaturalEdge.com is my website. And there you'll find various free things and all kinds of blog posts and so on and so forth. So either Google my name or YourNaturalEdge.com.
All right. And you also did your presentation, I believe, on the personal development tour. And there was an app, a PDA app, which I believe people can go to the App Store and type in PDA app and download that free app. And then on this app, you'll be able to see Joseph's wonderful presentation that I was able to see on noticing your happiness and success. And even from that app, you can also contact him. There's contact information there. You can learn more about him. So feel free to do that, because he is a powerful person on this planet, and that is helping many people notice themselves, and so they can have more success and more happiness. So until then, my champions across the world, I encourage you to be the courageous creator in your life. This is the Purposeful Life Show and the Champion Up Podcast with myself, Adrian Starks, and thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, don't forget to give us that 5-star rating and subscribe to the show so you don't miss out on the powerful, life-changing content on future episodes. Also, make sure to go to championup.net for even more life-changing content. Until then, I encourage you to be the courageous creator in your life.